Hello, my name is Father Jacob Rouse, and I'm the pastor of Notre Dame Parish in Cresco, Iowa. And today I would like to tell you about my new friend, Ellen Church. In the late 1920s, this registered nurse and licensed pilot approached Boeing Air Transport and said, "Hey, I would like to be a commercial pilot for this new fangled thing called airline travel." They said, "No." Could be because she's a woman. I think she was well qualified enough. That's beside the point. So instead, what she did is she said, "Well, I'm a registered nurse, and you guys still need help." So she said, "How about if I serve as a flight nurse and an attendant on your flights?" And so her and a bunch of other enterprising women decided to serve as nurses and as attendants on these flights. And Ellen Church became the very first airline stewardess. As time went on in 1942, she joined the Army because why not? She served as a flight nurse. She cared for soldiers in the Mediterranean. She served in combat zones in Italy and Tunisia and even the invasion of Normandy. And then finally she left the Army at the rank of captain. So why am I telling you all this? Well, first of all, it's because Ellen Church, Captain Ellen Church, is from our very own Cresco. She is a Cresco native, and there is a memorial field dedicated to her. The second reason I tell you that is because she was the first stewardess, now called airline or flight attendant. And when you hear the word stewardess or steward, you think of one, those who serve coffee and pretzels on an airline, or stewardship, you think of giving money to your church. But I would like, when you hear the word stewardship, to think of Ellen Church and think of caring for passengers on a plane. Not just passengers on a plane, but passengers on this thing we call life. Because being a good steward is not just giving your money to church. Being a good steward is taking care responsibly of the things that God has entrusted to us, whether it's our children, our farms, our horses, our pets, our objects. We are called to be good stewards of everything that God has given us so that we can help grow the kingdom and we can ultimately be happy. So when it comes to stewardship in church, yes, it means giving money and being wise with your finances to help us keep going, but it can also mean using your talents. All right, so if you've been to Notre Dame Parish in Cresco, Iowa, home of Captain Ellen Church, you will see that in the back of church, and you probably have seen it for the last few weeks, and even last year it made an appearance. This is a giant bulletin board that basically gives a description of all the ways that you can be a good steward by serving in our parish. And so if you're watching this and you don't belong to Notre Dame, well, you're more than welcome to join. But if you're in another place or you already have a home church, all of these opportunities in some way or another will most likely be available to you as well. Remember that the main point of being a good steward is not only of our time and our money, but also our talents and skills. So if you find that you really enjoy being in front of people, I know I do, I'm in the minority, but if you enjoy being in front of people and leading either in song or in the Word of God or petitions, you could be a lector or a musician. If you enjoy being behind the scenes, helping things happen and making sure everything flows properly, you can be a usher or a money counter. And if something outside of the liturgy interests you, there's many different opportunities, such as many different committees we have. We have a thing called the Circles of Faith, which are groups of parishioners that help put on funeral dinners, that help organize other events for our parish so everyone can have the most fun and most enjoyable time possible. If you came to Notre Dame in Cresco, Iowa, home of Captain Ellen Church, you will find these pamphlets on that bulletin board. And each one is divided into each category. For instance, ministers of care. These people bring the Eucharist and the bulletins and friendship to those who are homebound, sick, and in the hospital. There's a variety of ways to serve on the back. In the same way, we have a Circles of Faith one with all the ways that you can serve on the back, and also liturgy and music. All those ways are on the back. Simply take one of these from the bulletin board, check mark, put your name on it, and then hand it into the office. Also, when you're at Mass, either at Notre Dame in Cresco, home of Captain Allen Church, or at your own parish, go up to the cantor after they're done singing and say, hey, what's that like for your prayer life? Or what do you think about being a minister? How can I do that? Or approach the lector or an usher and say, what's it like serving in this way? I think I might want to do it. And then also, if you are one of these things, don't be afraid to invite and ask and invite others and give them the opportunity to serve and be good stewards of all their talents. My name is Father Jacob Rouse. That's all I have to say. I'll see you this weekend.